My video for August 3rd, 2017 is entitled Defeat of the Illusion System. Yes, of course, I've heard the scientific explanation as to why physical reality is considered an illusion, based on the fact that atoms are mostly empty space, just as the macrocosm of planets and stars is mostly empty space. However, I do not buy either viewpoint as the absolute truth. What if the so-called empty space was filled with love? What if that which connects it all is what we call God? I can live with that viewpoint. The other one gives me no hope for a better life or a better world. Of course, I am left with the question, then what is God? Are we even able to comprehend the empty space as being the invisible source and substance from which everything that we see comes? Perhaps our unconscious minds is where the answer can be found, which is why meditation is so important, though not the complete answer. For me, the defeat of the illusion system or control grid is what drives me to keep seeking the better world I've envisioned all my life. The system is based on supposition, and only by knowing the truth can we be free. Indeed, my meditations are intermingled with short, very short periods of no thought and lots of thought. The thoughts I just observe. I become the observer and I watch as they flow through my mind. And believe me, they can be all over the place, or sometimes they can be fairly focused. There's no absolute rule that can describe my experience as always one way or another, because things vary. At least for me, maybe some people have the ability to be more focused than I do, but that's my experience. And it's why I no longer get confused and frustrated by the fact that I can't make my mind be quiet, except for very brief periods of time, in the interlude. But in those interlude moments, I do feel peace. When the thoughts are not running all over the place, I can feel a sense of purpose. And with that sense of purpose, a sense of peace. The frustration, the constant battle to figure it out seems to end in those times. And that's what keeps me going. That's how I'm able to keep doing this, even when I've questioned so many things that I've been taught, including the science, so-called science of what I've been taught, that nothing is real. It's all just an illusion. We get to make it whatever we want it to be. Well, that would give us creative powers if we get to make it whatever we want it to be. But I know I don't want it to be what the so-called establishment wants. And that's I think what I mean, and by the way, the defeat of the illusion system is, I got that title from something that somebody sent me that I haven't even read yet. It's a new email that I received. But what if that illusion system is being controlled by people who want to make a world that I don't want to live in? I don't want to live in a world where there's injustice. I don't want to live in a world that's based on lies, that's based on greed, that's based on one-upmanship and overpowering those that are considered weaker. I want to live in a world of cohesiveness and cooperation, not a world of competition. I don't mind competition when it comes to sports or games. That's fine. But life to me is not a game. It's all that I have. It's all that I know for sure. I am alive. I've almost died. I have faced death in the face, that the doctors didn't think I had much of a chance. My heart was terrible. I've faced heart attacks, and I no longer sweat over them. It's just a process that comes and goes. Like many other things in my life, comes and goes in a sequence called time. Some people say time is just an illusion. It doesn't really exist. Well, I don't buy that either, because it's only by sequencing things that we have life. If everything was happening right now and only in this present moment, it wouldn't make sense. There wouldn't be a cohesiveness to life that would be able to bring me peace. I have to get into that so-called illusion, or the invisible thing, to find the connection. The connection is in the invisible realm. The connection is in the spiritual realm. It's not that which manifests, from which we can get answers. It's that which we can't yet fully grasp. And hopefully, this whole thing called human life is an evolution of consciousness. The consciousness is what's evolving. The invisible is what's evolving. And that will give the material realm its meaning and its purpose. And we will understand that sharing love is connecting the invisible and the visible together, so that the manifest world and the unmanifest worlds become the one world. And I don't know if any of this makes sense to you. I'm still struggling with it myself, because I'm looking for a way to explain what many would consider unexplainable. But it has to be explainable if there's going to be meaning that we derive from the struggle to know. And folks, I'd like to see all of us learn to love. But as long as we believe that God, or the Creator, doesn't exist, and that there is no purpose to creation, how can we love? How can we love when we have no foundation on which to build the love? These are the dilemmas that we're left with, or at least that I'm left with, and maybe others too, of trying to come up with a meaning that is meaningful instead of a meaning that is meaningless. I want a meaningful life, not a meaningless life. And for that reason, I think I'm still alive. And something, the invisible something that I call God, continues to empower me and keep me going, even amid the struggle that I admit that I have so often and so much on a daily basis in my life. I hope what I'm sharing makes some sense to someone, and maybe point you to something that you haven't considered yet, or strengthen something that you have considered, to give you the stamina to continue on this journey toward what I hope is ultimate fulfillment of our dreams and aspirations, and the highest levels of our conscious projections into what kind of world we want to live in. I want the darkness to end, and I want to be enlightened. And yet, even saying that, some say if you go toward the light, that's where the evil is. The light is the illusion. The darkness is the reality. I don't know. I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. One moment at a time, one day at a time, year after year, things go on. Will we see real change? Will we see the defeat of the illusion system? I certainly hope so. That's my prayer. That's the reason that I live. It's my desire for me and for everyone else. And if you have a different desire, if you want to continue the control grid, may you do it. May you find a world somewhere where that's still going on. But I don't want it to be this world. I don't want it to be Earth. Thank you for listening, and namaste.